One of the things that research suggests is that oral language is particularly important in the preschool years, before children start formal reading instruction. So one of the aims of this project is really to look at whether we can intervene before children reach school age, when they're at nursery, and give their language skills a boost that might help them to access the reading instruction and the other activities that they need to do once they reach formal school age.
And good afternoon, Joshua.
Good afternoon, Miss Blackcow.
Really big voices. Well done. The children in the nursery session, they're actually 3.5 and they're just at the beginning of the nursery intervention. When the children first sit down, we go through the special rules that we've got where the children have to look, listen, sit still and be quiet. But we don't mean literally be quiet. They can have input. Look with our eyes. Listen with our ears. Okay, we've got to sit still, and the last one, shh, be quiet, okay. Then we introduced Ted, tried to hide Ted in nursery, and they like to go and find him. And he shouts at them, I'm over here, and you're cold over there, and they quite like that. And it just relaxes them. It's more of an icebreaker, really, and it just relaxes them into the session. Over here! He's shouting round by that side somewhere. Oh, where's he gone? What was he doing under that hat, Harley? Come back here. Well done. Then when they've had the excitement of finding Ted, they tend to come sit back down at the table, and then I play a game with them. Today I've actually played with them a sound game. Don't forget your actions. Fantastic. So they've got to be quiet and listen, so they're using be quiet, listening skills, and you find that they actually all look at the CD player as well, so they're focusing. Then we go into the story part, the narrative part of the session, where I tell a story. Jack climbs up the beanstalk. Finally, he sees a castle high above the clouds and goes inside. Inside, there's a giant and his wife who smells Jack and shouts, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." Today our special words were beginning and end. So I held the story up and I read it to them. I identified the beginning of the story and the end of the story. At the beginning of the story, Jack takes his cow. He's meant to be taking his cow to market, isn't he? So that's the beginning of the story. At the end of the story, what happens? The giant falls down, doesn't he? He tries to climb down the beanstalk and they chop the beanstalk down. That's the end of the story, because Mum and Jack live happily ever after.
I think what the nursery session was quite successful in showing is the interlink between the vocabulary work and the narrative work. So the two special words of that session were beginning and end, but they were not taught in isolation. They were taught with reference to the story.
And tell me what happens at the beginning of the story. Can you remember? What's happening in your picture? Where's Jack taking the cow?
In the field.
Yeah, what's he going to do with the cow? What does he do, Harley, with the cow? Yeah, the old lady, what's she giving him for the cow?
Beans.
Some beans, and what do the beans do?
Grow high.
They grow high into a big beanstalk, don't they? Big beanstalk. What happens at the end of the story?
Man.
Who's the man?
And he goes, oh.
Is he the big giant?
Yeah.
What was also quite clear is that Sue didn't stop introducing the vocabulary and focusing only on this context of the story. So trying to really use the words or offer the words to the children in different contexts, so they really get a deep understanding of what the words mean, and not just, okay, beginning, it's the beginning of a story, because No, it's not only the beginning of a story. It can be a lot more.
What do you do, Joshua, at the beginning of the day?
Fall down.
You fall down? How do you fall down? Do you fall out your bunk bed? Have you got bunk beds?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can say, at the beginning of the day, I fall out of bed. Can you say that for me?
I fall out the bed.
Say, at the beginning of the day,
At the beginning of the day.
I fall out of bed.
I fall out bed.
Oh, thumbs up. I hope you don't bump your head. What about you, Harley? I just thought, oh, you know, these children are too young. But then after a few weeks of working with the children, they just loved it. They loved just having that attention. It's built on the social skills. And I've seen progress with the children, real progress.